Okay, standard English, quick vertical scan. Looks like we've got verb issues. Explaining the participle, to explain the infinitive, having explained. These are all non-finite verb options. They can't be conjugated. They're not going to be part of the main sentence conjugation. Only explain could be. So I suspect that's going to be the right answer. Let's quick check. Scientists explain that the secret to Roman concrete's durability was its unique blend of ingredients, which included volcanic ash and seawater. Yes, part of my main independent clause. A is the correct answer. These will not do. Okay, standard English. Looks like we've got verbs, tense, maybe finite, non-finite issues. Using, having used. These are non-finite options. Infinitive here, non-finite. So everything here is not conjugable. It's non-finite, with the exception of have used, my participle. I'm going to suspect that's correct, but let's take a look. For thousands of years, people in the Americas have used the bottled gourd, a large bitter fruit. Yes, that's it. That's part of my main independent clause, so I cannot use the non-finite option. It's the past perfect, or technically the present perfect option. It's the only finite verb there. Okay, conventions of standard English, quick vertical scan. I see we have verbs, is inventing, will invent, invents, had invented. So I've got a progressive and a perfect-like option. It's probably going to be the simple present tense, but there is a future here in simple tense, so that could be it. Let's just check. In 1881, so we're in the past, such and such redesigned the rechargeable lead battery. Farr's design greatly increased the amount of electricity that the original battery, which the French physicist Gaston Plante had invented 15 years earlier, could hold. Let's check that. Something's odd about that one. So listen, Farr's design greatly increased the amount of electricity of the original battery. And then from here to here, I've got my dependent clause. Electricity that the original battery could hold. That's part of my independent clause here. It's just ending this clause here beforehand. So I could pull this out. So what do I have? I've got a relative pronoun, which means I need a finite option. These are my two finites, C and D. Well, actually, they're all finite. I take that back. Which the French physicist Gaston Plante, it's 15 years earlier, so it's going to be referring to the past tense, is inventing. It's not a continuous option. It's not the future. He would invent it 15 years in the future, which he invents 15 years earlier. Well, he doesn't even do it in current present tense. It would be had invented. It would be the perfect past perfect tense. That's when he invented it. D is the correct answer for 52. Okay, I've got standard English, grammar, quick vertical scan. I've got verbs, are producing, produced, produced, have produced. So I've got a progressive type option, a perfect type option, and then two simple tenses. My guess is one of those is going to be correct. Okay, so let's take a look. C. vulgaris might be used, for example, to build future biological air exchange systems that produce oxygen for astronauts. There we go. Again, we have that relative pronoun, which cannot be followed by a non-finite option. It must be a conjugable verb. So it's not going to be, well, I mean, again, these are not non-finite. They're just, past perfect and progressive tenses. So it wouldn't be that. It's going to be the simple tense option. Okay. By the way, we're not talking about the past tense. We're currently exploring ways. So it's produced, not produced. And again, as is typically the case, it's not the perfect or the progressive option. Okay, standard English grammar, quick vertical scan. I see we have verbs issue, has studied, to study, studied, studies. Okay, so I've got a present perfect, an infinitive. So these are all finite. This is the only non-finite option. So my hunch is this is going to be right, the infinitive, but let's take a look. Okay, this means that Dr. Such and Such doesn't just study oceans as they are today. She uses chemistry and fossil evidence to study oceans as they were in the past. Yes, it's denoting she's doing it in order to do something to study the oceans. B, the non-finite standout option is correct. Okay, standard English, quick vertical scan. We are looking at verbs. No, it's actually really going to be a pronoun issue here as well. They were, both were. So I have plural options and I have singular options. Okay. Let's take a look. So with towering 6-spired exterior granite-like quartz monzonite, the Salt Lake Temple is one of the most instantly recognizable structures in the state of Utah. However, many people do not know that, well, it's a singular thing, right? So it's not going to be plural, that it was built over the course of 40 years. It's not one, because it's not a person that it's referring to, even if it's an unknown person in general. No, it's an object. It's a temple. It was built over the course of 40 years. A is the correct answer.